Hi guys, I'm Vlad and today I will teach you about 5 most popular time management techniques. But before we start, I want to congratulate you. You might think why? That's simple. As you have already thought about improving your time management, you already passed half of the journey. And now I will walk you through the second part of it. So let's go. The first technique, called Eisenhower Matrix. It was developed by Stephen Covey in the 7 Habits of High Efficient People, and it was based on the prioritization approach of the US President Dwight Eisenhower. The technique itself is pretty simple. It has 2 axes, importance and urgency, and they form 4 quadrants. Important, not important, urgent, not urgent. Let's start from the first one, important and urgent. These are tasks that have a clear deadline and have consequences if not being accomplished on time. These tasks are usually the one that you would start from your day. The second quadrant is still important tasks, but not urgent already. This is the tasks that don't have a deadline yet, but they give a lot of value in long term. You need to focus on them. Even Stephen Covey advises to do that. Following this quadrant, we have a urgent but not important. These basically the tasks that don't actually need your expertise and you can delegate it to someone else, even to your friends, your family, anyone. And the last quadrant is not important and not urgent. I personally wish you don't bother yourself with such tasks. Just put them away. Maybe in 1 year or 2 years you would come back to them, but I'm pretty sure you won't. Next on the list we have Eat That Frog. It is named after the quote from the Mark Twain. Eat the live frog the first thing in the morning and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day. So start your day by doing the most important things first. Brian Tracy well described it in his book Eat That Frog, obviously. He states that you need to find the most important task. This is your frog. And this task creates the most impact on your work. So begin your day with eating this frog and discipline yourself to do that and not being interrupted by anyone or anything. Just keep going. By the way, as a tip, you can use the Eisenhower Matrix that you already know about as a solution to find this frog. You can find the list of books that I'm mentioning here in the description section below. Feel free to pause the video and have a look on them. But we are moving on. The third on the list is Pomodoro Technique. It is developed by Francesco Ciarello back in 1980s. The technique uses the timer to break your work into small intervals. Each interval, that is known as Pomodoro, is named after the tomato-shaped timer that Ciarello created. The technique itself contains 6 steps. First one, decide on the task that needs to be done. Second one, set your timer to 25 minutes. Third one, do the work without being interrupted. Fourth step, if you see that your task has taken more than 25 minutes, have a 5 minutes break and turn back to step number 2. If you see that you have already done your task in your 25 minutes, then have a 15 to 30 minutes break between your Pomodoros, your tasks. That's it. Simple as that. So how does the Pomodoro technique save the time? It's pretty simple. The idea behind is to create a sense of urgency. Instead of having a feel that you have all your day in order to accomplish this task, you have only 25 minutes to do as much progress as possible. Also, it forces you to have a break. It's pretty impossible to having a all day long working in front of your computer without feeling tired. So it's super easy and great technique. Try to use it. The next on the list we have the Parkinson law. The British historian Cyril Parkinson has become famous for the phrase, work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. In other words, the amount of time that you give yourself to accomplish the work is the exact amount of time that will be taken in order to accomplish this work. So if you reduce the time for the work you need to do, you force your brain to complete it faster. Set the deadlines for the tasks that even don't have them. The less time you set for the task, the less time you will spend on that work. Keep that in mind. There are a couple of tips that might help you. Get it done early. Instead of finishing your essay at midnight, you can finish it at midday. Or limit the time for the tasks. You have only 20 minutes to read all of your emails. Or try working on computer without a charger. You have a chance to finish your project before your computer dies. That's basically it. The last but not least, the Getting Things Done method. It was created by David Allen, and it's a process that helps you to get things done by recording your items and writing them on the list, and then breaking down those items into the actionable one that you can accomplish. The methodology itself is based on the simple truth. The more information bounces around in your head, the harder for you to understand what requires your attention. As a result, you're spending more time on thinking what to do instead of actually doing that. When information builds up in your head, it causes only stress, overwhelm, and uncertainty. But here are 5 steps that needs to be done in order to make everything better. The first thing is capture everything. Just everything. There's nothing too small or too big to be written. Just write it down to your list. That's it. The second step, you need to clarify it. You need to make the list of actionable items. Some of them might be projects, some of them might be references, or some of them might be really the next items. The third step, organize. Add an event to your calendar, or make a call to someone, or arrange a meeting with someone. The fourth step, just review it. Constantly update the list, walk through it, maybe break to smaller chunks of work. Do everything in order to make you more productive. And the fifth step is engage. Just work on the most important items and take away everything that does not require your attention. That's basically it. So to sum up, now we know 5 techniques: the Eisenhower Matrix, the Pomodoro Technique, getting things done, eat that frog, and the Parkinson law. The best thing about all of these techniques, you can combine them and create your own professional style of managing your time, prioritizing your work, and having a more productive life. Instead of saying goodbye, I just want to say one thing. Whatever you do, improve the both process and the result of it. And then you will have a more productive life. Cheers, guys.